Hey, welcome to the Rustic South. I hope you like today's craft. Today we're going to do some trash talking. We are going to make a trash bag cover dispenser, if you will, out of an Amazon box that I got in the mail. We get so many of these boxes, and it's heartbreaking to me that how much cardboard I throw away in a regular week that I don't even use. So this is a recycled cardboard box. If you've seen any other of my videos, you know that that's my typical thing. I hope you can find this box. I think it's a fairly standard box that they use. It's like 9 inches wide. You don't have to write this down, it's in the video. 9 inches wide by 5.5 high by 6 1/4 wide. It's a pretty standard size. So see, that's the ugly box that I had in the cabinet. So I decided that since I like to disguise things, that this is what we're going to do. So here's the Amazon box that I had. And so what I did was I glued the top shut. I left the bottom solid, took the tape off of everywhere else except for the bottom. And I glued the flaps shut on the top and cut open that center part so that the trash bag could come out there. And what I did was then I took the back, I cut open a flap in the back of the box to help the trash bags would stay in, not roll out, not come out anywhere but along the top. So there's many different ways that you could do this. Now this box is definitely a little bigger than the box that the trash bags come in, but if you are a household that has maybe a couple of different trash bags that maybe you keep in your kitchen, you could put them in here. Or if you didn't want to cut the side open, you could use this box as a storage box for all of those grocery bags that we get, that I also recycle those for the dog. So I'm giving you the measurements here of the box, which I already gave you. And so now all we have to do is paint it after you do all the cutting. And I leave the flap, and the flap, you can decide how you want to close the flap, but I do pick, so here I'm picking the paint that I'm going to use. I'm looking at either the Waverly Steel or the Waverly Elephant, but I picked the steel because it's lighter in color. And it comes across on screen as a light blue gray. So I picked that one because I'm thinking I'm going to Mod Podge on top of the paint, the tissue paper that I like to use. So that's why I picked the lighter color, because if I picked the darker color steel, I don't think you would even see much of the paper. So that's my choice. So your guys' choice may be something else. So I did speed this up quickly so we don't have to sit and watch me paint a box. And this chalk paint covers even up that black Amazon box tape that comes on boxes. It covers it up pretty well. And I also knew I was going to Mod Podge something on top of it. So, I wasn't too concerned about anything that comes through that paper much. Because I also knew I was going to antique it, so you know, whatever color you guys have in your kitchen, run with it. Paint the box any color. Okay, so now we have the box painted. So I took my finger sander and I went all around the box, all around the edge, and sanded it, which it's too early actually to sand now. I also sandpaper it after I Mod Podge on. This is the tissue paper. If you've seen any of my videos, you know I use this tissue paper. I get it at Hobby Lobby. I absolutely adore it. I love it. I love the newspaper print on it. It's very light, faint. And I just painted down. There's no rhyme or reason as to where I start, where I finish, how I do it, other than I try not to leave any straight edges. I will typically tear edges so that I don't have straight edges anywhere. And as usual, Mod Podging, you know, things tear easily when they're wet. So this stuff is very easily manipulated. So if any of you actually went out and bought this tissue paper for any of the other projects that you've seen me do, this might be a possibility for another one. At some point, I'm also going to do an upcycle on a box for my laundry room dryer sheets. I currently really don't have anything that I keep them in, so I'm going to need to do something to disguise that. So if you guys happen to find a box that your dryer sheets might fit in, that you could, you know, Mod Podge, recycle. If you haven't done something like that, if you don't have anything to disguise your laundry room dryer sheets, that's something I will be trying to do here shortly. And see, I overlap them, and it's not a big deal. I mean, you can see it a little, but it's not a big deal. Again, it's rustic. It's rustic, so it's It's okay if this stuff overlaps, right? It's so thin you really don't see it much, and it just kind of adds a little bit of a thicker layer in places, which is totally okay. So I do glue this down to the flap on the back. Of course, when you go around with your sandpaper, you can, when you sand it there, that paper will rip the edge, you know, along the edge so that it's not glued shut. So I did the entire box, and I decided to get this napkin back out again. This is going in my kitchen, and I do like to use a few things for embellishment. I'm not really big on embellishing. If you guys have seen my other videos, well, that was fast. But I did cut out that rooster, and here I'm making a line 2 inches up from the bottom. I make a line using painter's tape here to keep it straight. And I decided I'm going to stencil on the word kitchen. So I couldn't figure out what I wanted to put on there. Several different options, I guess. But I decided on the word kitchen. I didn't want to put trash or whatever. You can figure out what word you want to use on yours. And I used this dark blue, which in the end is okay, but I should have just used black or dark brown after doing it. But I do sand it, rough it up, where you can't even hardly tell that it's blue anyway. So it's I'm trying to get the placement right for the letters so that it's not like, not centered, if you will. So I decided to start in the center of the box with more or less the center of the word kitchen, which has 7 letters in it. So, and I do make a mistake here. I need you guys to make sure if you're going to stencil on, I've had way too much paint on my, and then I did that, and then it kind of squished underneath, I think. So yeah, so I have a big squishy mark there. Wasn't happy about that, but too late. So just make sure you don't have too much paint on your paintbrush. I couldn't find my pouncer, I don't know why, but anyway, so I used this paintbrush. So learn from my mistake and don't overload your brush. I don't know why. Anyway, mistakes happen, but it's okay. In the end, you can't really tell it. I just stress it enough that you can't really tell it. So here's my rooster that I ripped out of that napkin. I decided I'm going to put it on the corner. Before you of course, you could get out another stencil, and stencil all kinds of things on here. If you have something that you use in your kitchen, of course, if you fruit, or if you do bees, or Italian maybe. I don't know, or grapes and that stuff. Or that, is that stuff still popular? I don't know. I don't think I see it as much as I used to. I mean, whatever your theme is, run with it. Hopefully you have some stencils. So here I'm going to use the sandpaper to scuff this up a little bit to try to help disguise it. But remember, I am sanding on paper, so of course the paper comes off a little bit in places, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. So here I just decided to go around, of course, with my distressed oxide, my pouncer, and distress it. I don't know, whenever I distress stuff like this, I don't feel like I have to put a bunch of stuff on the craft to make it look finished, you know? And maybe I'm just one of those crafters that doesn't do a bunch of extra frilly stuff on things. It just depends what it is, I guess. But putting this distressed oxide on here makes this box, the aging of it, it just turns out awesome. I just realized I forgot to do the inside of that flap too. I didn't do anything on the inside of that flap. I should have. And see the inside of the box there, you can tell the trash bags fit snugly in there. So they are not going to roll out for any reason. So I use a little black as well as the distressed oxide. So guys, the video is almost done. I hope you're enjoying the channel and my videos. Next, I might be doing another heart decoration for the house with the metal hearts that you can get at Dollar Tree. You know, they have all of those, what are they called? With the heart wreath forms. I think that's going to be my next craft, I think, is I'm going to be using the heart wreath form. So if you guys have one at home, or if you want to grab one or wait to see what I do with it, I think I have to go get some Spanish moss. And we're going to be doing, I think, paper bag. So if you like paper bag kind of crafts, then you might enjoy that one. I think that's the one I'm going to do next. So here I'm just distressing it a little further after the letters are still a little too perfect in some spots. So yeah, so you can see the paper is coming off, but that's okay. I mean, it doesn't totally read kitchen now, but that's fine. I'm all right with that. You can really tell the difference when you look at that flap there, how white it is before the distressing goes on it. See, I was contemplating putting other things on the ends. I was like, I don't know. Do I really need it? I mean, but why not? I have that other stencil there. It would be cute on the end there. The farmer's market stencil will be cute on the ends. If you guys have those are from Dollar Tree. They still have them. I saw them there the other day. And see, the flap will stay closed. It's snug enough. It stays closed when you push it in. So it shouldn't be, you could even set this out on your counter if you wanted to. I mean, if you know, if that was your end desire. And there is the ugly box that it used to be. And yeah, so that's what it used to be. And now we have this for our trash bags. So guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider subscribing. I would so appreciate it. And I hope to see you in the next video, where I believe we're going to be doing a heart craft. Thanks so much for stopping by.